Hello, I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that brings us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here's to not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Welcome to We Need Help. I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Izzy, and we're sad to say our month of sex is coming to an end.
Sex is over for us, guys.
It's done. So yeah, this month we had a full month of sex, and now we're going dry.
The next 11 months are...
Get ready.
Good news, everybody. I'm going to be a bitch.
Great news, everybody. The vein in my forehead is going to return.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good month though. We had the intimacy queen, Diana. We had Dr. Mindy, who talked a lot about sex and couples therapy. So we had some good guests on.
We really did. And we had a lot of it was a big action month, I think, with expanding what you think of when you think of sex, and expanding what I thought a lot more about other people having sex and what they're doing. Not that I don't think an unhealthy amount of that normally.
Yeah, right. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Apparently that's okay.
Yeah. Apparently that's normal.
Normie. I'm a normie.
Okay. Oh,
did you take the blueprint? We didn't talk about this before I wanted to, but did you take the blueprint test online? The sexual...
I did take the blueprint the blueprint test. Turns out I'm sexually dyslexic. No, it is that I'm sexual.
You're a sexual. And did you read...
Sexual organs and just sex, pure. I'm a purist.
Okay.
So
not that anyone else is
sex.
Unpure.
Right.
Let's all calm down.
But I just the sex, sexual organs, that's me. Just get to it.
Yeah, that's Jason too. He probably loves that I just told that. Whatever. He's a sexual. That means your visual, if you saw sex happening, you would be turned on. You're all about tits and ass and penises and butts, and you want to see buttholes and bleached assholes.
Bleach. Yeah.
Sure, obviously. You're not an animal.
Oh.
Yeah. We're so bad. I don't even care. I don't even care how bad we are.
I don't either. So, and what are you?
I'm a sexual, or I'm a shapeshifter. So there, I know.
Sorry.
I
identify as a shapeshifter.
I'm a shapeshifter. So basically there is 4 different ones you can be, and I speak all 4 of those languages.
Oh.
Which,
okay.
It sounds really sexy. It sounds I'm just compatible with anybody, but it makes it very difficult to ask for what I want.
For me, it sounds like schizophrenia.
Well, is it weird that I make Jason call me Sybil?
Hold your water.
Yep, but I love all I love the mental sex game. I like any kind of role playing. I like within reason. I like any what I like. I like
you like it all.
Yeah, I like to be in a sneaking it. I love the whole thing. So, but it makes it hard when somebody only speaks their language, and therefore 75% of mine is not getting met.
Yeah,
is where my problem is.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that they're only focused on one, and you speak all the languages. That's really interesting, because when we did the 5 Love Languages book, you mentioned that your language was all of them. So that's
true.
Really interesting.
I speak all of them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to receive all of them, those love languages.
Okay. But in the sex, you're open to receiving all of them depending on the mood.
And that's another thing. Like, it's very mood based. So like,
Yeah.
you gotta really be.
You got to be really in tune.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people. No offense, everybody, let me down.
Oh.
Well,
Broad stroke apology to all of Lizzie's past sexual partners.
because I speak too many languages. It's just like I'm the really smart kid in the room for once.
Yeah, in terms of sex.
Yeah.
I'm
like a sexual genius. I'm alone.
T-shirts.
Sexual genius.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's going
I'm
on
a
the
sexual
store.
genius. Oh my god.
That's amazing. That's a hashtag.
Yeah, the kids are gonna love that. Like,
The kids are going to love that. So what did you get out of some of the episodes? So do you remember the Intimacy Queen, Diana?
I fucking loved her so much.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She was so cool. Yeah, I guess after meeting her and talking with her, like, just understanding that, like, I so long feel like sex is like a pleasure. It's like, having foie gras or something special. But it's really not. It's your birthright. Like, it's for you, and it's not unapologetically for you. Mm-hmm. And I kind of love that. And that resonated with me. And so I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable asking for what I want because it's owed to me.
You're so entitled.
I'm entitled to it.
Oh, that's funny.
And then what did you get? What was your main thing? Because I don't want to take over because I thought she was so lovely.
Yeah, no, she was cool. I loved how she said, your sex life is not a luxury, it's your birthright. So it's just normal, like, that you deserve it.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be something awkward or weird. But I think what I got most from that session was having compassion for yourself, for the parts of you that are blocked, like, just more compassion for yourself. Because I think I'm always comparing myself to others. The shoulds start creeping in, and just taking it easy, like, not stressing myself too much about, like, where I'm at, and just having compassion for those parts that are blocked, and that's okay. Like, so that's, and then I think overall, like, after the session with her, I started sort of paying more attention to it, because I think there's everyday life goes on, so you don't put sex as a priority, because, like, all the other things are happening. So I think what she did for me was making sex a priority, like, putting it back on as a priority, because it was just sort of like what you said, kind of like a luxury.
Yeah.
Like, I'm busy, I got a new job, I got, building the house, I'm doing this, and this is all happening.
Yeah.
So sex is just kind of like not in the priority list. So I put it as something important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so grateful for her that
Me too.
happened.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really cool. I would recommend her to anybody to work with because she's not intimidating at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
because I think, she's just,
if you're out of
she's
touch with your
approachable.
sexuality, you don't want somebody coming in like a dominatrix.
Holy shit. That's the one thing when I was watching the Goop sex thing.
Yes.
I don't think I'd want any of those therapists, because one of them was, like, super gorgeous, and I was like, not that Diana wasn't super gorgeous, because she was super gorgeous, but, like, I don't want a supermodel. Like, Diana was, like, normal. Like, I felt like
you don't want to masturbate with Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, thank you. That fucking waif.
I
No,
want
thank
to.
you. Don't get out of here with your
Oh my god.
vaginal rejuvenation. Anyway, no, I love Gwyneth. Like, we're like this, but
you're like besties, and like I'm basically her sister from
we're
another
like
mister.
But yeah, no, I just she was very approachable, and I really liked that. I felt comfortable immediately.
I felt
and I think
very
that's
comfortable
important.
with her. I thought she was beautiful, but I felt like she was very nurturing.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to reach out, it's the Intimacy Queen on Instagram, and then there's links to all of her,
and get
all of her stuff.
And then we had Dr. Mindy.
Dr. Mindy was great.
Oh my
She
god,
was so funny.
she was all about, like, first of all, the fact that there's like women out there like this that can help you, that we don't even talk about this. We don't talk going to sex therapy. And like I told Jason, we haven't had a chance because we've been in this renovation and we've been doing everything. I'd love to have a session with her, like once a month or once every quarter or something, and just kind of get back into things, because it's so easy to get
sidetracked.
Well, basically, I feel like okay, maybe you go 3 weeks without having sex once. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, we really should have sex. But then you're like, you don't want to say anything. And then the other person's sitting on the other side of the bed and he doesn't want to say anything, or she doesn't want to say anything. And then you're like, all of a sudden, before you know it, it's been 6 months and you're fucked, and
You're not fucked.
You're not fucked. Fucked, but not fucked. You know what I mean? Like, so it's nice to have and she said something that really got me, which was, the relationship is cultivated separately. Like when she has a couple in, she treats the sexual relationship as a separate entity.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved what you were just talking about, how some time starts to go by and then you both feel like awkward about it.
Yeah.
And how she said almost to take that pressure off the table.
Yeah.
Like, just start getting close again, start dating again. That was like a super eye-opener for me, because I think when so much time goes by and you haven't done it, then it's almost like there's so much pressure that it has to be amazing if it happens.
You're like, listen, it was never amazing to begin with.
Yeah, like, what are you, what are you, insane?
Oh, you want it to be amazing? Then leave. Oh my God.
So, yeah, and I loved how she just said, just take it off the table and, like, take that pressure off. Like, that was what I got out of that the most, from what she said. Just, start dating, start getting close again, start having fun with each other, rather than we must have sex and it must be amazing.
A lot of my friends that I know, they don't want to have sex, and they feel that their husbands or boyfriends do, but they're just not into it, and they don't want to bring it up because it's like,
because they're
going to have to do it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So it's like
I'm just wondering, have they just completely lost that love and feeling, like they don't want sex at all?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I can't speak for them, but yes, I think that does happen. But two, I think if you don't do it, it just becomes like you go into protection mode because you feel rejected. And then it's a shame spiral of all hell. But I do know this. This is something I do know, and it comes from talking to a lot of people. If you are not cultivating a sexual relationship in the relationship has problems that are not sexual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is like, and Dr. Mindy was talking about that. Like it's kind of like money. Money shows you people's problems. Versus I think if you're, it's an outward expression of things that are going on.
Yeah.
She was talking about that, but I adored her as well.
She was really funny. So she is the Miami sex therapist.
Yep.
And that's her Insta handle as well, the at Miami sex therapist written together. And she was fantastic too. Plus, like, she gave us all these discount codes, so you can check them out on our Instagram page.
Yeah, she was amazing. And she's not just for Miami. She can work anywhere she
can work online as well. Yeah.
I think she can only, I don't know, we'd have to look who she could actually have sessions with, but because you have to have a license. I don't know how that works. Just go see her and she'll tell you
she'll tell you everything.
She'll tell you everything. But so it was a really fun month. It really was. Like, thank you for having us do it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then, like, in general, any key takeaways from this whole month?
Well, I mean, a refocus on it is always important, number one. But it's been like, it just kind of reignited my sexuality as my own person, not in my relationship, not just like feeling sexy. I've been working out. I've been like eating healthier, just doing all the things and focusing on that, because I think what somebody said in that book that we read, which was Sexual Healing, but it was something like, I can't remember, your sexual energy is like your life force or something like that.
Yeah, it was the author of Sexual Healing by Peter Levine. He wrote, one of his quotes was like, sexual energy and life force energy are the same.
Yeah. So I feel like all my life source energy has been ignited because I'm focusing on that.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I think what you mentioned earlier, not having sex is reflective of another problem. And then this quote, sexual energy and life force energy are virtually one and the same. I had zero life force energy because I was overworking myself and like not doing zero self-care. And once I started doing that a little bit, the sexual spark started coming back. So they are really intertwined, that life force energy and that sex energy, like back and forth, I think.
Right. And I will say, like, I've noticed over from a month ago to now, like, you look more beautiful.
I feel better. Like, I feel better today. I know the last couple recordings, I was like, I looked at myself, I was like, it ain't just the camera. But I just decided, I made that decision. Like, I need to take care of myself, and I need to put sex back into the mix.
Yeah.
Like, back into, as a focus, as a priority, as something important. Because I didn't really treat it as anything important. I just treated it as a nice to have rather than a need to have.
Yes.
And now it's a need to have, not just a nice to have.
Right.
So, yay.
Yeah. And flaunting that is nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're a sexual genius now.
We both are.
Yeah.
Well, I love you. This was a really fun month.
I love you too, and we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Thanks for joining us this week on We Need Help, the podcast, the duct tape of self-help.
Please visit our website, weneedhelpthepodcast.com, where you can find links to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and all the others, so you'll never miss a show.
You'll also find links to the books we've reviewed and our amazing store.
If you enjoy this podcast, go right now, because if you're anything like us, you'll never do it later. Like and share our page and episodes on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or just tell a friend about the show. That would help us out too.
Also, feel free to let us know what you need help with, and we'll try to cover it in a future episode. You can also find us on Instagram at weneedhelp_the podcast.
Thank you for listening.